things in our society are changing very, very quickly and in a very, very concerning type of a way. Our society is moving ever closer to a kind of a cultural socialism. And it's a very, very dangerous thing to look at and to comprehend, because if this stuff starts to get a lot of traction, we are in big trouble. Now, to highlight this, I'm going to play you a little clip. A man here interviewing a chap from Stand Up to Racism, you know, that anti-fascist organisation. So this gentleman here, Lewis Nielsen, he's going to give you a little pitch as to why you shouldn't vote for reform. And it's not specifically about the reform issue that I wanted to talk about. It's this gentleman's issue with successful people. And so I'll play this little clip here.
If you look at Farage, the thing that angers me most is he's not just a racist, he's a fraud.
Why is he a racist? You keep saying he's a racist. You've got no evidence that he's a racist.
No, but listen. He went to the poshest private school in Britain, Dulwich College. He was made a millionaire by being a stockbroker and a banker.
Yeah.
And it's an absolute joke that he is trying to say to ordinary people in Britain that the problem is migration. The problem in our society
is not saying it's the only problem.
Like Farage, who are trying to deflect the real problems in society. They're trying to deflect the blame onto migrants.
But we've got a massive problem with immigration, right?
That's what happened in the 1930s. That's what happened against black people in Britain in the 60s
come
and 70s.
On, Lewis, you're an
Farage is doing it
you're a bright guy. You know, I know we don't know each other personally. I know people who know you. They say Lewis is a great guy to have a pint with. But you are talking.
I don't know if we've got mutual friends.
You are talking tosh here. I mean, you're inventing stuff to stand up to support the scaffolding of your own crumbling argument.
Did he go to Dulwich College?
Yeah.
Is he a private school boy?
I didn't dispute it is a private school. I don't know it's one of the best in the country. Don't even know if he's a millionaire. Got no idea at all.
Well, he is a millionaire because he does a lot of jobs outside of Parliament.
Well, maybe he is a millionaire. Good luck to him. What's wrong with that? Is that illegal now?
Because I do think there's a problem in society, right? I think we live in a very unequal society. I think life for ordinary
So you don't like millionaires? So you call them a racist without any evidence?
No, because if you look at what Reform is saying, they're saying that the problem is migrants and refugees.
In one area, that is a problem in life. Any party, Keir Starmer acknowledges that. Keir Starmer does. Kemi Badenoch does. Everybody acknowledges there is a problem with immigration.
Well, there are some very real problems in society. The underfunding on the NHS, the lack of social housing,
100%.
The cuts made to public services.
100%.
Migrants are part of the solution for that. We need more people.
Well, not all of them.
And I think within that conversation there, you start to see the root of the decay taking shape. So the way this narrative is always shifting all of the time, it's moving inexorably towards what this gentleman is saying. As he was put to the question there, so you can't even be a millionaire now, is that how it is? And the gentleman didn't say, no. He said, there's a problem with wealth inequality in our society. Now, if we don't start to reverse course and quickly, we are going to be in a lot of trouble. We've got the education system, as I've done in a recent video, starting to become activists, talking about tax the rich. You've got people like this gentleman here going on and saying things like, yes, it's not okay to be a millionaire. A lot of people are coming up and saying the same thing. In addition to that, there's not as many jobs as there were available. So you can understand how some people are struggling at the moment financially and they can't make ends meet, how they feel. And it's a very, very easy thing to turn around and go, oh, just tax the rich over here. If we're going to exclude wealthy people in a social sense, if they're not going to be trendy anymore, if it's going to be the case that people have to hide their wealth, there are a lot of countries around the world that will welcome these people in with open arms. And the more people that go, the worse it's going to get. The more people are going to call for tax the rich and, all of these millionaires and all of that. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And people like this person here, this gentleman here, from Stand Up to Racism, he is ripping our society apart and making it more difficult for people who are already struggling on the breadline. The more of the people that leave, the worse it's going to get. And we haven't seen anything with the current government. They haven't even gotten started on their changes here. They've only had one budget and they've virtually obliterated the economy. We're only now starting to see what businesses are doing. But we really need to stop talking like this. We really have to stop putting down success. Because as is in America with the American dream, if people have an aspiration, if you think, I can aspire to be more, I can strive to be more, I can try and get a better life for my family, we can go and buy a nice house, or we can get a house and we can have a holiday and we can get a car and we can have a nice life and all of that, and we can strive for more. If you start to remove that, then what is there that's left? What's left to aspire to in a society? Is it just activism? And is it just shouting and whining that you should take money from other people? This gentleman here is a very dangerous man. And he also doesn't have any arguments. And that makes it doubly strange to me that this person is quite happy to go onto a national stage and talk absolute garbage on every level. A very, very dangerous man from a dangerous organisation. And I would urge you to avoid these people like the plague. Thanks very much for your time.